And we are live. G'day, g'day, g'day. It's your boy Danny D, aka Alaktrician Man, back at you with another video and with some exciting guests with us today. We've got Lucky DeFi, very, very good friend of mine, and the one you've all been waiting for as well, Dr. Kelly Snook. Hang on, let me turn off my audio on my other side here. There we go, so we don't get any feedback. Dr. Kelly Snook, co-inventor of the MiMu gloves, music producer, former NASA research scientist, and all-around awesome person and dripper, fellow dripper.
Yay!
Hey guys.
What's going on?
It's great to be here with you.
Thank you so much for being here. You know, it's an honor to have you on the show. Let's see how many people are going to come on. Basically, guys, for anyone that's out there watching, you know, just giving a bit of an introduction to Kelly, and obviously a lot of you already know who Kelly is because you've been watching her reading her Medium and watching her comments and strategies and stuff regarding multiple wallets for drip. And so if you have any questions, feel free to ask. You know, we can use this as an AMA. Lucky is also a DApp developer. Okay. Sorry, bro, I had to say that.
It's all good. No, it's all good.
And so, you know, if there's any other technical stuff you want to ask him, go ahead. And me, I'm just the guy that sits here with the blue drinks. But
making all the money.
It's still in the morning. And so, yeah, feel free to ask us anything that you want to ask us. And, you know, we'll answer it as best as we can.
Yeah.
All right.
Danny, so I don't have any blue drinks, but my water bottle is blue. Does that count?
There you go.
Oh, that's a start. That's a start. That's definitely a start. So, actually, all right. Here's the question: do you actually drink even occasionally?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't. No.
You don't? Okay, that's fine. Fine. Well, that saves me sending you a bottle of my Alak-Azul when it gets released.
Oh,
you should though, because it's gonna be collectible. Right?
I mean, I have friends that drink, but no, I don't.
Oh, yeah, no, I'll definitely send you one. We're looking at Alak-Azul will be launched by mid next year.
Okay, so I was wondering what Alak-Azul was. I didn't know.
Yeah, well, Alak in the Philippines. I'm an Aussie, obviously, but I've been in the Philippines for the past 18 years. And Alak, and I do have Filipino blood as well as Spanish. So Alak is alcohol in Tagalog, right? Which is the Filipino language. And then Azul, because I've also got Spanish blood, Azul is blue. So Alak-Azul. Okay. And regards to Alaktrician Man, basically how that came about is that I had another business and I was working on bikes, okay, a specific kind of bike, which is a Kawasaki Curve. And, you know, I do stuff for people and they go, oh, wow, that's so cool. You know, you're really good. And I'm just going, nah, I'm just an Alaktrician, because Alak is alcohol and Trician as in, you know, the suffix in, you know, nah, it's just an Alaktrician. And then that just stuck, you know, and so I'm known as Alaktrician Man.
Okay.
So it seemed appropriate. Alaktrician Man, Alak-Azul, and Alak-Azul being a new way of doing cheers, like Alak-Azul. It's a household name, you know. So there you go. But no, I'll definitely send you one because it will be a collectible. Collectible.
Wow. Right. One of the first bottles.
So yeah. So Kelly, tell us your story. NASA scientist.
I seriously feel smarter just like sitting here right now. Just because I'm surrounded by NASA scientists.
Well, if I'm totally honest, I was only a scientist because I was too afraid to do music. So really, I'm a musician and a music producer.
Great.
And my parents were musicians growing up, and I was really not keen to make that my living. And so I kind of pretty much almost literally chose aerospace engineering at random. mainly because I didn't really know what the options were. I didn't know anything, and I didn't know what I didn't know. I thought like the three possibilities were lawyer, doctor, or engineer. That's what I knew. And yeah, anything but music. And of those three things, doctor and lawyer seemed like I would have to be dealing with people's problems a lot. And so engineer seemed like the least difficult of the three. And of engineering, there was only one type of engineering that was even remotely interesting, which is aerospace. Everything else seemed really boring. So that's literally how I chose my field. It wasn't because of any deep abiding interest in space or anything like that. So I always really kind of felt like a fraud, but I always also kept music up on the side. And so I started producing music in 2001, and I was producing music and working at NASA at the same time. And those two things it was like two jobs. And it was really exhausting after a while. And so I started to think about how could I combine them. And you know, that was back in the day when I thought of them as different things. But now, after all of these years and after really leaving NASA to work on music and music technology, I have a different way of thinking now about science and mathematics and math and music and art. And I kind of think of them all as the same thing now. And I think that the way that our society has separated these things is artificial and unfortunate. And so I'm really working on technologies that allow us to use music in a new way, actually in a really old way, in the way that they used to use it in medieval times, where music was one of the four sciences. It wasn't an art form, it was a science. And so I really am now focused on finding, building tools and related to the blockchain, actually. So I'm learning from Jip how to build my life's work, which is a musical instrument that allows you to essentially play the universe as a musical instrument by flying through it and like a game.
That's absolutely amazing. You know, like I obviously we're on Telegram, you know, and also your Medium. I looked at your Medium posts and I noticed these MiMu gloves. It's only recently that I actually looked into it, and I thought, wow, this is just amazing. You know, with Ariana Grande using it on stage and that, and the Imogen Heap.
Yeah.
Wow, I hadn't realized what this was. You know, and like I'm gobsmacked when I see it.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Oh,
sorry, Lucky, were you going to say something? Like you were.
No, I said no. When you mentioned Ariana, I just memories. Just my ex is just tough.
Oh, your ex, right? Yeah.
No, I'm just playing. Go ahead. Sorry.
Ariana, if you're out there at all, give me a call and say good day to us.
No, I know I have to get married first, so our lives are just too different. Yeah, I hope you're happy.
She's married now. Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Because I got married first, so.
Oh, I see. Okay. That's fair enough.
Hey, what's up? Hey, Don Function. What's up, man? Don is also a developer and head of Gangster Finance, and nice. We'll be speaking soon. Yeah, Don, shout out to you. Right. Yeah, Kelly. Again, just in regards to that, like coming from NASA, like, I mean, that's a dream job for so many people.
Yeah, I know. It was harder to leave than I thought it was going to be, even though I knew it wasn't really my dream job. It was still really hard to let go of that kind of, the big NASA stamp on my forehead gave me some legitimacy. So,
wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a select few people. A select few that ever have that opportunity. Wow. It's, And
then with your musical, I mean, I always thought right brain, left brain, like, creative, and then ultimately like science and a lot of math. So, I mean, like, that's not easy to do for sure. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But music is a lot of math too, if you're doing it right.
Oh, if you think about it, that's very true. I mean, asking what kind of music are you producing, or are you
I actually
involved
produce
with?
mainly devotional music for
Okay.
independent artists. Yeah. Not real
Nice.
mainstream stuff. I'm more interested in doing projects that I really love and believe in, and I kind of have the luxury of being able to do that.
Gorgeous. Yeah, Danny's a musician. We're all musicians. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I'm a former recording artist, independent. So is Lucky in Canada.
Sony, yeah. Sony. It's pretty, in one of those, the cheesiest groups you could ever think about. Yeah, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, the cheesiest pop ever. Yeah, but we had number ones. It was good. It was good. A lot of fun.
Nice.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, living the rock star life for a few years was a lot of fun. I gotta say that one of the best experiences. Yeah. But,
now we're just sitting at home living off drip.
That's right. That's right.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, this month for the first time, I lived almost completely off my drip earnings, which is really exciting milestone.
Good for you.
Considering I only got in it 2 months ago, it's very, very exciting to be able to move that quickly to financial freedom.
I remember speaking with you on the voice chat on Telegram.
Yeah, when I was first learning. Yeah, I was just
4 days into it. Or something.
I was just like soaking everything up, trying to figure out what the heck, which way was up. And to be fair, there's a lot of kind of people that don't really understand what's going on in the main drip chat, and trying to learn strategies from other people isn't always the easiest thing. So finally I just thought, okay, well, I will talk to as many people as I can, but also I just need to sit down and do the math myself. So that was when I started. Well, actually, my dad and I got into it. I told him about it, and he invested, and then we started kind of building our calculators together. It's what the tool we need to be able to think strategically of our own collect, because we were thinking as a family. We weren't just thinking as individuals, and we weren't thinking about getting rich and Lambos and all that stuff. We were thinking like, okay, how can he retire? How can I actually like just make the music that I want to make and not have to not have to take jobs to pay the rent. And these were very humble goals. It's not like, we don't necessarily want to be rich. We just want to be free. And that's a big difference. And we also wanted to build wealth for our whole family. So we really had to start understanding how all of the team play in drip works, and how where you place the wallets, and which wallets, the big ones and the small ones, and how do they work together, and how do the rewards work. And there's a lot of moving parts in drip, and fundamentally it's simple, but the nuances make it actually quite complex. I remember the first day, for example, that I learned, because it's not really in the white paper, that I learned that one wallet there's like a max payout of 100,000 drip. That wasn't written anywhere. So I kind of learned that just by talking to people in the Telegram chat. And that's a big piece of strategic information. That basically determines the entire strategy. So, and it means that every wallet has an expiration date at one point or another, unless you literally don't do anything with the wallet. And so that was like, and when I talked to you, I hadn't really learned any of that. I was still kind of really trying to absorb it all and understand what the culture was, and understand what this team play stuff was. And I'd kind of also gone down some wrong pathways with advice from people in the main drip chat, not malicious or anything, just people that didn't really understand what was going on. And I thought, okay, well, it could be a real service to the community to figure some of this stuff out, and then figure out a way to articulate it in a way that is as simple as possible, given how complex it is. And so I wrote that first strategy article, and I'm still working on the follow-up second one that deals with more than one layer. I was hoping to have it done this weekend, but it's not quite done yet.
Well, that's okay.
It gets pretty complex, though.
Bring it back again.
Okay, great. That sounds good.
Well, what I like, in your tutorial video, you're mentioning like the maximum is, I know it's 100,000, but ultimately you're looking at like something like 57,000 tokens you could take out in total, right?
In a wallet that has no downline. That's right.
Downline.
So
yes, correct.
In a wallet that's just either on its own or it's at the bottom of a chain of a, it's at the bottom of the downline, then that's the case. If it's a team wallet, or if it has wallets below it that are generating rewards, then actually you can get up to 80, almost 89 or 90 or 91-ish tokens it's possible to get out of the wallet. Obviously, you can't get more than 91,000 or 90,000 because there's a 10% claim tax. But so you can pretty much, if you just do claim only on a wallet and you have like lots of rewards being generated directly under you, then you can make up to, and you never hydrate, you can make more than 57,000. But that's not in that first article because I wasn't considering any downline effects at all, or any team play, or any rewards.
That's usually how you start too, because the people we talk to our whole thing was like, focus on your own portfolio, right? If you want to call it portfolio, and how much are you looking to earn every day, every month? That's all that really matters. How much did I make today, right? So I mean, but
no, that's not all that matters, but that's one of the three. That's one of the three most important questions.
Yes, absolutely. And we were looking at it from the 1%, which is not necessarily 1%. I mean, you're looking at 1% a day, but in fact, it's not, because when you roll, it's 0.95. Like there's that 5% tax, right? So you're not earning as much. And then some people's strategies is more like, okay, well, I'm going to put X amount in, and I'm going to get my money back, and then roll the rest. Right. So I don't know if that's a good strategy, so
that is that is a really good strategy. I think. I think one of the comments. So the first question that you asked is a really important question. How much do I want to make? But an equally important question is, by when do I want to make it? And then the last very important question is, for how long do I want to keep making that? How long do I want to stay in drip? Because I haven't invented a multi-wallet strategy. Any strategy for being in drip is a multi-wallet strategy if you want to stay in, because your one wallet is going to end. So you're either going to have to just start fresh new wallets with fresh new capital, but you're going to have to start another wallet, or you're going to have to take the earnings from the one wallet if you want to keep growing it and put it into a new wallet. Either way, now it's a multi-wallet. If you think ahead in any way, you're going to have multiple wallets. So it's not like, oh, do I have a single wallet strategy or multi-wallet strategy? That's a total red herring. For a while, we were having this debate about are multi-wallet strategies bad for drip? They're not bad. Any strategy is a multi-wallet strategy. So it's really more about those other questions. It's not just about how much you want to make. It's about when you want to make it by, and for how long you want to keep making it. And that's something that people don't understand at first. And it's also something that leads to some pretty counterintuitive answers when you're thinking about all those questions at the same time. So
very interesting. I mean, because basically when you look at it, the basic math and compound calculator, we're looking at that initially when we're starting off, right? And it doesn't end up working out the way it's calculated on the calculator side, for example, right? So I mean, ultimately, if you keep compounding 1% a day, it works out to maybe around 70 days, your amount doubles, right? I'm looking at those numbers. In reality, it's a little different. However, I agree, it is multi-wallet, and the question now is, as you start, once you're in and you're already getting started, then you start building these strategies on, well, okay, how long can I sustain this? What's the best strategy there? The claim every other day, or is it roll 3 and claim 1, or again, it's really up to you. It really depends on that one individual and their.
It's very much dependent on somebody's goals.
Correct.
I think also, I guess if you're a team leader, or you have people coming to you and they're wanting to get into drip, I think it's really important to have them thinking about these things before they stake, because if they have quite a considerable amount of money, I think it's kind of a mistake not to think about all of those questions at the same time, because you could get yourself in a situation where, if it's a lot of money, for example, and you put it all in one wallet, very soon you're going to have to make decisions about what to do with the earnings of that, and you're going to be so limited. You're going to have to claim and airdrop and, do all sorts of machinations because that wallet is going to blow out very quickly. And also, also if it's somebody and they're going to want to build a downline, there's two ways to grow your money quickly in drip. One is to just put a lot of money in up front, but the second way is to build a downline. And if they're going to build a downline, they definitely don't want to be putting making just one big wallet. You don't want to put a big downline underneath a big wallet because you're not going to be able to take advantage of those rewards for very long. The rewards start coming in and they just blow out your wallet, and then you have to airdrop and start new wallets. And so you really want to encourage them to think ahead. Okay, is this something that they're going to want to do? If it's something they're going to want to do, make a one drip wallet that's going to be the team wallet for all the people. Don't put like 300 drip in a team wallet. You may think, oh, if I have this big wallet, I'll get paid out sooner. That's just not the case at all.
No, it isn't. Danny, you and I talked about that.
Yeah. So,
we talked about that. That's a lesson that we learned, through experience, because
it's counterintuitive, but yeah.
Yeah, correct. Your earnings wallet should really just be your earnings. Your team wallet that you want to help share the opportunity with and build with should be not the wallet that you're actually living off of. Yeah.
So it's almost what I started to discover is that, like, in my own system, I don't have that many wallets. I think I have really like 3 main wallets, but maybe 15 wallets total. But they all have different personalities. They have different functions. Where they sit in the network is different, and who's under them is different. And the way that I operate with them is different. So it's kind of like they're different people. They're different incarnations with different goals and different habits, a different hygiene, it's really like a family. And some of the family, I own all the wallets, but then some of them are literally my sister and my other sister and my niece and my dad and my dad's friends. And, I find that there's so many diverse ways that you can approach drip, and there's so many different things that you could want to get out of it, that you really want to understand how it all works well enough that you kind of know which personality your wallet should have. And maybe you just only want one. You just want to park your money somewhere, earn the 1%, and and you don't want to bother with any of the team play, and you just want to build your own little ecosystem that will generate what you need to generate. And so that's like one little ecosystem that you can make.
Isn't that a beautiful thing about it? Beautiful thing about drip is that there's no obligation to have to do any of that.
Totally.
You can just be in it as one person. You don't have to rely on someone. Yeah, it's entirely up to you.
Yeah, and that was actually our plan from the beginning, that my wallet is literally in my MetaMask. It's called Family. Under Family, I now have 197 wallets. Wow. It was never my intention ever to have to build a big downline. It just happened. It just happened. And and that family wallet is blowing up way too fast. And I don't want it to. You want the team wallets to outlive all the children, all the downline. Otherwise, you're just going to have to give up all of those rewards and you don't get to collect them.
Absolutely.
So I realized really early on, okay, I should just never, I was looking in my calculator. I'm like, oh gosh, I should never hydrate this wallet. It's tempting to hydrate it when it's like 100 drip or 120 drip. You want to grow up. But then I calculated, and if I did that, I would be losing money. And I was like, wow, I need to write about this, but I haven't quite published that yet. Because there are still people out there. There's a lot of people out there with big downlines that are still hydrating their team wallet. And it's like, guys, don't do that. And people are like, wait, why not? I want to grow it faster. And I'm like, yeah, but you're going to be giving up a lot if you do that.
You don't understand how detrimental it could be, right? We don't understand the technical side, right?
Yeah, so, if the price of drip price of drip 10x's or 100x's with this farm, that's like hundreds of, well, I don't even know, like $500,000 they could be giving up by doing that.
Yeah, right.
Potential that they could be getting out of that wallet, depending on the price, obviously. But it could be a lot of money. So There's a lot, but there's a lot of
we've-
counterintuitive things like that.
We've already seen where it can go, with the other farm way back. Stable Farms, was it, Eric?
Yeah.
We've already seen where it can go with adoption. And, I mean, I had some people come in at $3.28 and it went up to $59, 58.5 or 59. Actually, it was at 59 for a few minutes.
Second.
We've seen it go from that in the space of 3 weeks or something, 2 or 3 weeks. And it was just madness. And now with Manor Farm and Animal Farm, I see a very similar thing happening, if not better. It's going to go even higher. It'll still have back, but and a little bit of a reset. But I think we're definitely heading up.
Absolutely, especially with the liquidity in BUSD. That's going to be huge.
Yes, absolutely. It's going to stabilize and it's creating more utility. Obviously, it's locking up a lot more. Taking away from total of available supply. It's definitely going to make an impact, because what you're doing is you're locking more in. Like you're just buying more and just locking it away.
Yeah.
And just earning more from that. I love the whole BUSD thing that Forex did with it. So
yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, it's so good.
Hey, just while I remember, because we mentioned it earlier, talking about airdrops, have either of you done the math in regards to airdrops and how it benefits the actual airdropper in regards to being net positive or net negative?
Yeah, I mean, it's in my calculator. A kind of rough calculation. Obviously, the detailed calculation of NDV is a little. It's too hard to put into a general calculator, but you can always look up what your NDV is. If you're a team wallet and a lot of rewards are coming in, you're kind of probably never going to be negative, because those rewards that are coming in are going to keep you positive, even if you only claim. So the NDV is more of a problem on smaller wallets with either a small downline or ones that are kind of on their own or at the bottom of a chain. But then in that case, it doesn't really matter if it's NDV, because the only effect of a negative NDV is that you don't get rewards.
Yeah.
So it would affect one thing, which is, well, actually I haven't tested this, so I might be talking nonsense. But if it's true that you don't get any of the rewards with a negative NDV, if you have a child that's hydrating, and that hydration round robin would hit a team wallet, normally what would happen is some of that would get kicked back to you, like 2.5% of 1% of 2.5% of 0.95 of the available would get kicked back to you. If you were negative NDV in that case, I guess you probably wouldn't see that little kickback if you were. If it was supposed to be kicked back to you. I think that would be the only impact on a what I call a child.
For example, when you get to that 27,000 coins, in your deposits, 27,000 coins will put your max payout at 100,000, right? So technically, at 27,000, you would not be compounding anymore. You'd basically just be claiming. So you get to that point where your claims are going to be bigger than your deposits, and you get there pretty quickly. And so obviously you would not be getting any more of those rewards. Well, technically, you would not be getting any more of those rewards because you become net negative. Yeah. And
no, I don't think actually what you just said is quite correct. But keep going with your train of thought, and then if you want, I can try and say what I think you said.
For example, if you hadn't been doing any airdrops, you hadn't been doing any airdrops. And basically you get to your 27,000, which means your max payout would be 100,000. And then you're just going to be claiming on that instead of compounding. Right?
Are you talking about a child wallet or a team wallet?
Well, a team wallet.
If it's a team wallet, that 27,000, it doesn't mean anything. It's not a thing.
Irrelevant, man.
It's not a thing.
You're still going to have
that 27K. No, but that 27K is like actually much, much, much earlier. It's not 27K for a team wallet. It's earlier and earlier and earlier, and in some cases, it's like 10 drip.
Yeah.
And even if there was no downline, and you got to 27K and then you suddenly got a downline, you would be getting those rewards all the way up until your claim.
Even if your claim is bigger than your deposit.
No, not if your claims. But you wouldn't. But you wouldn't be in that case with a team wallet, because it's very unlikely that if you're a team wallet that you would be negative NDV. It would be actually kind of hard to be at negative NDV. You don't have to airdrop to stay positive NDV with a team wallet.
Okay.
I don't think. Okay. I mean, I haven't gotten to a wallet that's like tens of thousands of DIP yet, but and I need to look at that in my. Actually, I have looked at it in my calculator where. You've just got if your downline is big enough and they're hydrating and you're getting those rewards, then you don't have to airdrop to keep yourself in positive NDV. Somebody might get online and refute that, and I'd love to see that math, but I don't think that that's the case. I think
well, I think that's on a layman terms.
Right? I think that might be a myth. I think people think that, but I don't think that that's true. I don't think you have to. So if you're airdropping just because you think you need to do that to stay out of to keep your NDV positive, it's that's not true. I don't think.
All right.
Because it's deposits minus claim minus non-roll claims, right? Like actual claims, plus and minus airdrops, and that's. But even with no airdrops, you can definitely, your deposits can outpace your claims very easily as a team wallet.
Okay. Interesting. Cool.
From layman's terms.
Very interesting.
I know that it's kind of like part of the culture that team leaders should airdrop. I don't airdrop.
No.
Ever. Other than what happens
automatically. I have my views on airdrops. And I would tell Forex. I mean, airdrops for me is like, well, because we come from a different background too, where we build teams. We've helped build network marketing companies as well, commission structures and whatnot. So we understand that side. And to airdrop is, I know it's mean. I mean, I'm gonna get a lot of hate for it, but I look at it as more like pimp style. You're looking for sugar daddies. Hey, who's gonna give me the most airdrops? Come on, who's my sugar daddy? So what does that mean? I mean, if that's your strategy, go ahead. All power to you. I mean. But if you're trying to build a solid business foundation for long-term growth, airdrops and trying to buy business by saying, hey, I'll airdrop you the most, that's a very short-term thing. I mean, it works.
I don't do that. I just don't think that. I think that's such a small value compared to being able to help someone actually strategize for their maximum possible return.
Absolutely agree.
I feel like that's a much more value to them to be able to help them think through think through what they're actually doing.
I mean, what we're trying to do. I mean, I've been in crypto for a while. But there's many strategies you could take. Every individual is different. Everybody's at their different level of financial stability. And however, when you're if you're trying to build again through airdropping, you're buying business, right?
Yeah.
And it may work for some people. That's great. Influencers are out there doing YouTube. I mean, that's beautiful, good for them, and they deserve, theirs. However, if you're just trying to join a team because of an airdrop and you may or may not get it, right? You're not thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about your own strategy on what the real strategy should be. And I think that's a lot more, it holds more weight. You definitely want to focus on that more, right? And most of the opportunities that we've been earning our income from for the past few years, it has nothing to do with referrals and whatnot.
Yeah.
This is an extra bonus, a bonus of a bonus.
Exactly. That's how it has actually worked out, even in reality, in my own system, because I wasn't really trying to get these referrals, but it's actually really cool. Like, it's a really cool bonus. Like, to see my balance now in my family account, which I genuinely, when I created it, I was thinking, this is actually an account for the whole family. Everybody has the keys. Anybody can use it if they need to go and they need to change a tire, or they have an emergency expense. Like, it's there for the it's the family. It literally is the family wallet, and that family wallet, is going up by several drip a day, and I'm not touching it, and then that's really cool. I think that's really cool, especially now that the price of drip is going back up. So it is actually a really, really cool thing that you can build a downline if you want to, but
Yes.
but you don't need to. Yeah, you really don't need to. And when we discovered that, we were like, this is brilliant. This is,
Yep.
we were still using the referral system, but not in that way, that not in the network marketing sense, but in the like, okay, if I put all of my niece's wallets under my sister, or all of my sister's wallets under my niece, that means everything my sister does benefits her daughter. Like,
Correct.
that's really cool. That's a really cool like thing in the family where like we're not just benefiting some stranger or some, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's not that it's bad to benefit strangers, but it's really fun to be able to strategize in a way where you can kind of collectively build a collective security and collective wealth together as a family or as a group or as a team. And in my opinion, even the drip teams, they're missing an opportunity if they're not actually strategizing with each other about how to like help each other on the team. And that was a really cool thing that's come out. And I've been much closer to my family as a result as well, which is also really fun.
Sure.
My dad and I talk every day now, and we would go like weeks without talking before. It's really cool.
And I've said before, same with my dad. Our parents are it's payback time for our parents, right? And we're really happy to put them in certain projects and decentralized finance projects where they're kind of basically double, triple their pensions, whatever they're earning. I mean, it's such a great feeling.
Yeah,
right?
my dad has advanced his retirement schedule by at least 2 years because
There you
of
go.
it. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, well, we've had a little bit of a setback because the other project we're in just had a big rug pull. So that's really good.
Ouch.
Yeah.
You want to warn anybody about it, or no? We'll just leave that.
Oh no, everyone knows about it. It wasn't the developer that did it. It was a bug in the code, and but it's been quite a ride. It's made Drip feel like rock solid. Like Drip right when that was happening, the Drip price was going up and Forex made this big announcement, and so it was like Drip saved us from like we're really quite wrecked right now in that other project.
Oh yeah.
It's definitely a life changer, and Drip, and you got to look at it in different ways. Well, you can either look at it on a trader mentality or as an investment mentality or a retirement fund. I tend to look at it more of a retirement fund when I'm talking with people. I've mentioned this in my other videos as well, like looking at it as a superannuation fund, or like in Australia, it would be a superannuation fund. I'm getting feedback.
No, go ahead.
Oh, yeah?
A little bit. Yeah.
A little bit. But for example, in Australia, superannuation fund now, I mean, chances are your superannuation fund in Australia is not going to be able to cover you at the age of retirement. It's just not going to be enough. It's just the way it is. Whereas now, if you have something like Drip, this is like your retirement fund, or superannuation fund, where in Australia, you're putting in every payday, every paycheck, you're putting in a contribution into your retirement fund. Hey, Drip, why not DCA in as well? Same kind of thing, you're putting it in. But the thing is that you're getting dividends on a daily basis, and you're creating, wealth and a retirement fund to cover you when you really retire. Well, I'm already retired, so
pretty much
it's great for me. But I think it's a mindset. It'll work for you if you have the right mindset. If you're focusing only on getting your dividends on a daily basis, I think at times you are going to be disappointed because of the fluctuations in price and stuff. You can't really gauge it if you're thinking just on that, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people that are thinking just on that daily dividend.
Unfortunately, yeah.
So.
And I always say, it's not a speculation game. I mean, Drip is definitely not a speculation game. However, you also do play that side as well. So of course you're going to DCA in more once the price goes dips a little bit. I mean, there's many strategies you need to look at and apply when you're involved in a project like this, because it's not as simple as, hey, I'm going to put in $100 and just let's see how big it's going to get, and I'm getting my 1% a day. It doesn't work out.
Yeah.
But it is like a retirement fund for sure.
I'm just going to grab a water. I'll leave
Good. Oh, you want some? Yeah, I got it. No, Kelly, I mean, a lot of the stuff, I was watching your tutorial videos and I was like, oh man. Well, first of all, I got in trouble because your voice is so soft. And I was in bed and my wife was like, hey, who are you talking to? No, it's like, but yeah, no, you have a beautiful soft voice. But no, a lot of the math, of course, goes over my head personally. But it's very, we're very lucky to have someone like you apply and think of that side. To help us create better strategies. It's like you said, it's better if you learn it early, right? All the stuff that we learned is just based on experience. So bad decisions, which is fine, right? So no, I'm fine. It's good. Oh, you're on mute. I think you're on mute.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was kind of forced into it because I knew what my goals were and they were fairly ambitious, and I knew in order to reach those goals, I needed to borrow money. So I needed to figure out how much money do I need to borrow and when can I pay it back? And not only how much do I need to borrow, but how much do I need to borrow to be able to pay off my debts and pay back that loan in a reasonable amount of time by next year, essentially. And so, I kind of had the numbers that I needed to start with, but I had no way of figuring out, like there wasn't a calculator that existed
with the real calculation
to like actually figure out with the whale taxes and with all these people and with the rewards and all of it, what realistically can I earn, and also with the price going up or down and all of these different effects.
Right.
There are just so many
variables.
different parameters, so many different moving parts. Yeah. And so I needed to be able to just have something where I could tweak this one thing and see what happened, tweak this other thing, like do a sensitivity analysis is what we call it in engineering. Like figure out if I move this one thing, how does that change the whole system? And then I could optimize. But it took a solid month of, and actually, fortunately, I borrowed the money. I figured out roughly how much I needed. My very generous friend, loaned me $10,000, and so then I knew how much I had to start with as well. So then, and then he paid me right away. But then Uphold, which is the DEX that I use to get my fiat into crypto, like they held on to my money for like what seemed like an infinity of time. It was really in reality more like it was about 10 business days, but that's 2 weeks.
Holy crap.
And like 2 weeks when I'm thinking every day I'm losing 1%, and I'm having to shift all my calculations. But I'm so glad they did, because I was, my instincts were all off about like what to do with that money in a way that I needed to optimize. Like I really needed to optimize it, because I don't have it's not just play money for me. Like that was my plan for getting out of debt and for having an income when unemployment was about to stop. As a music producer, like because of COVID, I've been on COVID unemployment. It just stopped a few weeks ago. And so I had this like deadline looming where it was like literally didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, didn't know how I was going to pay my credit card bills, don't want to be paying those credit card bills anymore. So how do I best optimize this $10,000 investment to be able to, achieve all of these different things that I needed? And it was super ambitious. And so then so I did it and it was looking great. And then the price was just like going down and down.
Yeah.
Like, oh God.
When did you start? What price did you start at?
What price? At 2028. Well, actually, if I would have bought in right when I started, it was almost 30. It was on its way down. But it was, and so it only ever went down, pretty much only ever went down after that. It went up a tiny bit, probably because of us. we were all like all in, like me and my dad and my friend, like all of us. And then it just started just drooping and drooping and drooping. And I wasn't too freaked out because I had like based my calculations on the possibility that the price might go down. But actually, I didn't plan for it to go down that much that quickly, and so I was getting really nervous. But people seemed to have faith in Forex, and so I just found some like calm, reserved, like kind of just hope that it would turn around. And I really think it's definitely turning around. Like I feel like drip is much less vulnerable now, or like fragile. Like there was one point where we were having these big debates I have a drip rocket science Telegram channel. And we were really kind of soul searching about, okay, is this bad for drip if we have multiple wallets and we're getting around the whale taxes or the whatever, like is this bad for drip? As if drip is fragile, as if drip could be broken, and somebody asked Forex about it and he wasn't worried. He was not concerned. He's like, drip can't be gamed. I'm not sure if it's true that drip can't be gamed, but just it made me feel so much better about like strategizing and optimizing, because ultimately for me, I was finding that it was really easy to attract people to drip when you could help them optimize to do what they needed to do. Like none of the people, well, actually I don't know all the people in my downline now, but of all the people that I brought into drip, they're not Lambo seeking, like gold necklace seeking guys. They're like mostly women actually, and also just really just wanting to build a sustainable path for themselves. And so, I think the price going down was a good test for my own resolve, but I'm not worried about my own actions breaking drip at this stage. I think we're playing the game the way that it was designed to be played, and I think that's what Forex. I mean, I haven't spoken with him directly, but that is, that's the feeling I get. Like he wasn't freaked out when he was asked about it, and that gave me some confidence that it's okay to be strategic and to play by the rules, but be optimal about it, be optimizing.
Correct. That's a key word: optimization of your strategy, using the existing tools within the smart contract, within the ecosystem, and kind of using it for your benefit. You're not gaming the system, right? Even having rewards and setting up multiple wallets, you're not gaming the system. You're actually using it as a tool to then benefit yourself, which is actually helping the whole system. Platform,
because then you can show other people how to help themselves.
Correct.
Yeah.
And also you can be a lot less selfish in a way, because you're like, I felt the whole time I felt like, okay, I set up my system to provide me what I needed. Everything else is just bonus. So I'm not like trying to get people to do, sign up under me or like do something that's not so good for them so that I make more. Like, I don't have to worry about any of that. Like, it's just, I can literally and genuinely help people do what's best for them. And
that's what matters. Yep.
I love that about drip.
That's definitely the key. Like my whole focus, previously until recently when I got sick, but it was all about helping my team members, not my directs. It's everyone else underneath. And I spent so much time like doing presentations for them, talking about how to structure their account, how to grow it from there. And every time I speak with somebody, it doesn't matter who their upline is. I know they're still in my team, but I speak about and I discuss it with them in the way that's going to benefit them.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, when I speak to people, they're not even on my team. I started this Telegram channel. Like, there's loads of people in there that I have no idea whose team they're on, and I don't really care. I like that I'm completely liberated from worrying about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've had to take a step back a little bit just recently, but the whole thing has been about, what's going to work for you, not what's going to benefit your upline. It's what's going to work for you. And I tell the upline as well, when I speak with this person, I'm going to speak with them about maximizing the gains and benefits for them. I'm not thinking of you, even if you're the one that brought them into it.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's absolutely fair, because, I'm speaking with these people, and at the end of the day, if they know that I know about these strategies and I don't tell them, and then they find out later on, where's the finger going to point? It's going to.
Why didn't you tell me earlier? Yeah, correct.
Yeah. Why didn't you tell me before? We could have done this, and I can't say, well, I was thinking of your upline, because I'm not thinking of your upline. What's going to benefit you? And I think doing it that way, and letting them get a grasp of actually how it works and how it's going to benefit them, it makes them more invested into it themselves, and it will make them actually DCA in or put extra in for themselves because they know the benefit, rather than just, I'm going to come into this team because I'm going to get airdrops.
Yeah.
It goes back to that. Look, I don't airdrop. Well, I do from time to time, but that's just as a reward thing. It's not a charity thing. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't want people to get to that point where, oh man, I'm part of this team, I'm just going to grow because I'm getting airdrops. That's not me, And like Lucky was saying earlier, we've come from a background as well where we've been involved in network marketing. I used to head up one of the big network marketing companies over here many years ago. And, there's times there where people within that network marketing thing, they go, oh, join my team, I'm going to pay for your account. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so these, oh yeah, okay, you're paying for my account, I may as well get in. But because they haven't physically invested anything themselves, they don't take it seriously. 90% of the time, 90% of the time. Yeah. There's it's like, oh, well, I haven't put any money into it. We'll just wait and see what happens, instead of going, hey, I've invested money into this. I want to make it work.
Yeah.
And I
believe in the project. I understand the project.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have lots of people out there, even within Drip, that have just come in with that small amount and they're just going, oh yeah, we'll just test it out. I mean, it's great to have that, but that's really not the core of Drip. That's not what's going to make Drip successful. All these little ones and twos in there. I mean, again, great to have. It will benefit them eventually, but that's not going to help grow. I mean, someone that's just doing that, they're not going to tell their friend about it. They're not going to go, hey, this guy paid for me to get in. Maybe he'll do the same for you. That's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Anyway, that's just my take on it.
It was crazy going back to what Kelly was talking about earlier, where she was getting a loan to then invest into Drip. That, Kelly, we've discussed this months ago, because if you really look at it, it is possible. So we're not encouraging anybody to do it, right? But the whole OPM, other people's money strategy, it could work in programs like Drip. It's very risky because you do not know what the price is going to be like, right? You don't control that. So, however, it is possible to use other people's money, do the whole OPM thing.
Well, that was why I had to design a strategy that would work even if the price went down. That was really important for me to, like, my friend is very generous, but I also, like, I have a lot of integrity, and I would never think of not paying him back. So it would have been a world of hurt to me if I didn't really think it through. But that is an option. The borrowing to, if you're really good with the strategy, then it's.
And it's all about. I agree. And this is something that people could learn from you, because most people don't think that way, right? And they think, oh, they'll just dump it. It's like going to the casino or whatever, just gambling. But really, if you apply a calculated strategy, it's possible. Yeah, definitely possible. So we'll be talking about your exact strategy after. Okay, you have to share that with a lot of people.
I can share. What you're saying? I don't have to share it with a lot of people.
No, we'll talk about that, unless you want to share now. What you
actually did. Totally. Like, I'm all about sharing it. I don't feel like it's what I love about Drip is that, like, I don't have to be stingy with strategy. It's like my gain doesn't require other people's loss. Correct. I love that about Drip.
It's not zero sum. Yep.
It's not a zero sum thing. I don't have to, like, if I find out a secret thing that works really well, I can just share it, and, like, with joy and, like, enthusiasm, and and share that with people. Right. I think that's really cool. Even in this other project that we will remain nameless, it's not quite like that. Like, so people are stingy with the strategy. Like, they feel like somehow there's more of this feeling of zero sum. Like, if I don't get as much, then if I tell other people how to get all this get, then I will not get. And
correct.
I find that like I feel completely free from that with drip. Like I'm even free, almost free from price. Okay, that was tested a little bit when the price of drip went down to $6.80, $6.82 or whatever it was. Like it was starting to make me nervous. I won't lie. But like up until like even when it was down to 10 and like 9, I wasn't feeling nervous at all because price, like it was so. I guess the strategies that I've formed are a little bit like DCAing, like dollar cost averaging, because, you know, if so one thing that I realized early on, because I needed to get money out sooner, like there's this kind of culture or conventional wisdom, if that even exists this soon in a project, but like a conventional wisdom that you should hydrate, only hydrate, that you must do that until you get to max payout and then you claim, right? I was like, hang on. Why would you need to? You actually don't need to do that. That's like a total like myth. You can start from the very beginning. Even if you start with 10 drip, you can alternate claiming and hydrating, and then you get money out sooner, and you don't get less money by doing that. You just simply do not get less money.
That's a common way of thinking, though. That's the way I thought in the beginning. Was like, okay, well, again, I'm gonna roll this or hydrate this every 70 days. My balance will be double, right? In theory, right? No, and that's how I thought for the longest time.
Yeah, no. I mean, it takes longer to get to the point where you have to that your wallet blows out, and it might take longer to get the full amount of. Let's just say the price of drip is $10, because then that means the max you can get out of wallet is $1 million. It's really kind of easy math. So you can get the $1 million. It takes a little longer to get to 1 million, but if you're claiming and like alternating claiming and hydrating, that means like you're getting constant. You can rely on this, whatever, $40 a day or $100 a day or whatever it is, depending on what you put in. Every other day, you're getting that out. Like for me, that's great because I need to pay my freaking rent. I need to be able to eat. So if I know I can get that out, even if the price goes down, I'm getting out enough coins that I can just sell them at whatever cost they are. That's really exciting. And yes, there's a little bit of a risk that, you know, maybe the price later is going to go way up and I've already sold those coins at a lower price, but I don't care because I'm eating and I'm paying my rent, you know?
Exactly.
Like that's, and I can make as many wallets as I want.
When it was down to that $6.86 and $7, I mean, that's when I was sick, and you know about that. That's when I was sick.
I know.
And even at that price, it still covered everything I needed to do.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. And you just have to put in enough up front that that's the case. Even if the price goes down, you're getting, you know how much you're getting out. You just have to be like, all right, I would need to be getting out this many at this price. And that's, you know, my rent is whatever it is a month. And you know that you're going to get there. And, you know, I didn't get there last month quite because of the price thing. And that did hurt a little bit, but I didn't freak out or change my strategy. I didn't start like hydrating all the time. I was still claiming every other day, claiming and hydrating and claiming and hydrating. And then when the price came back up, I sold.
Yeah.
I didn't lose anything at all. And the drip was there waiting for me to pay this next month's rent. So, you know.
So your real strategy is claim, hydrate every other day. You're just alternating. Yeah. And do you actually sell or are you just claiming?
Well, now I'll sell. When the price is high, that would be great. If I need to. If I don't need to, then I can keep, you know, some in the system. And because who knows what's going to happen with this new farm? Like I may want to have some drip on hand. I don't know what's going to happen. But like I basically, I'm collecting at least enough that I need to sell to be able to pay my bills. And then everything else I'm either reinvesting, either in other projects. So that's going to change maybe because for a while there, when the price of drip was low, I was actually selling it even at the low price and investing it in this other project. And that was working out great until that project tanked.
Yikes. I said
yikes. Yikes is right. It's a big yikes. That one is like a big disaster of a one tiny bug in the code. And this poor developer, oh my goodness, he's just
Oh,
He's really trying to make it right, and he's making a whole new version of the project, and it's going to be great, I think, but people aren't 100% sure of that now. So it's just like, it's really shaking the, because it's a brand new project. Anyway. So there was a time right a few weeks ago that I was taking drip earnings and putting it into this other project, and I was really excited about that. That might actually work out again sometime in the future, but since that crash, drip has just been a solid rock of a thing. That's the thing. It's like 1% every day, no matter what.
Yep.
Or 0.9. Well, actually, okay, much less than that, because there's the claim tax and then the sale tax. But
sure.
It's
well, that's good.
It's awesome.
So you would ultimately, your general strategy for on the layman's side, just basically hydrate, claim, hydrate, or hydrate, claim, hydrate.
Well, the caveat to that, of course, is it all depends on when you want the money. If you want to recover your initial investment quickly, that's definitely the way to do it. But because it gets you money up front, and it doesn't do any harm to the amount you'll eventually get out, and it lets it grow. So you're kind of like alternating. So it's like hydrating 50%. When I first did my calculator, I didn't realize you either had to hydrate all of it or claim all of it. Naturally, I thought, you could choose what percentage you want to hydrate and claim. And so I had all these percentages in the calculator. And then I went to actually do it, and I was like, wait, what? You can't choose? Okay, so then you have to approximate like a 50%, because 50% was like the optimum with my calculations, but there's no way to do that. So that's why you have to alternate. Well, there is another way you can do it, which is to have two wallets and do 100% hydrate and 100% claim, but that actually doesn't end up working very well. So in the end, but that's with the caveat that's if you want to get the money out early. If you don't care about that and you just want to get as much out of each wallet, then you make as many wallets as will get you the amount of money you need, and then just hydrate until they reach their maximum. Or you make a wallet and get a big downline that'll help you. That.
Which is the other strategy. I mean, again, drip is almost like two businesses. One is, two businesses. Or I separate it in two. One, again, I always say my own portfolio. That's your strategy, using multiple wallets. And the other strategy is just team building, if you want to go that route, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people can't handle the team building part. That's not it.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. I make sure that I don't, even in the article, I started realizing, I'm publishing these articles, which means that people are using the address that I'm publishing. So I stopped doing that. I started putting my dad's address in there.
Oh, nice.
That built his team, and I don't have to worry about it.
Happy birthday, Dad. Every day.
I started putting random people in there as well, just because it's, awesome. It's like, it's a lot of work sometimes to onboard people.
It's a responsibility. Yes, correct.
Yeah, and it is a responsibility.
Correct. You want to bring in the right people and make sure that they're playing it right. Yeah. They're doing the right thing. Yeah. So how about on the other side? Okay, so if you have 10 drip, it's good. What would the maximum be on one account? What would the maximum amount you would ever put into? Say you had like $1 million and you had to break up into separate accounts. What would the maximum amount?
I wouldn't ever put more than 100 drip in a wallet to start with.
Okay.
This is just a shout out to all the whales.
The reason why I say 100 drip, I would just split it into how Brandon's going to kill me for saying this in public, because I think he and I are still like, in debating whether or not you should do this. And I think he's not a fan of this idea of splitting an investment. But I think, and I've done the calculations to support this, I just haven't published it yet. But I think it'll be clear when I publish my part 2 strategy article, which considers these team effects, and also like considers what happens when a wallet gets to its maximum, what you have to do if you want to keep growing that money. Who's not going to want to keep growing that money? Anybody who realizes, at a certain point, I'm not going to be able to keep growing it. I'll just put it in, I'll just like cascade I call it cascading, cascade those earnings into a new wallet and then start earning there. But what people don't realize, and I sat one day for 3 hours with the spreadsheet and I played it all out. in front of me. What would it look like to cascade, take the earnings from one wallet that's blowing out, it's getting its max payout, which means it's getting 242 drip a day or 246 drip a day. It's coming out for like 5 months, that much money every day for 5 months is coming out of the first wallet. Yeah. So let's say every day you take that and you put it in the second wallet. You start a second wallet and you put it in the second wallet. And then that one goes to its max much faster. If the first one took maybe a year and a half to get there, the second one, or a year to get there, the second one will take literally only 3 months. And then the third one takes like a month and a half, and the fourth one takes, 3.5 weeks, and the fifth one I'm making these numbers up, but it gets to the point where the first one you can use up those funds, but the second one is still spewing out money by the time you get to the 10th cascaded wallet. So when you get, because they're coming fast and furious and they're blowing out, they blow out as fast as you can start them. So if you start a wallet with 1,000 drip, it's not long before that wallet blows out. So if you want to avoid all that hassle of having to start new wallets and airdrop from one wallet to another, if you want to keep growing that investment, then it's much, much more wise and calm and steady to just start put a bunch of this equally sized wallet. You'll still be getting out the same amount every day, but instead of it hitting up against these limits and hitting up against the limits, it just doesn't hit up against the limits, and you can just keep hydrating it and keep claiming, and it's just a much calmer, much more long, like a Japanese way of thinking of it.
And then you have to employ someone to just sit in your office just to manage the accounts all day.
Well, you would have to. The thing is, if you want to stay in drip, if you have that much drip to put in there, you're going to have to do that anyway. You're going to be forced if you want it, unless you just want to get in, blow out the wallet, get out. I don't know anybody who's done that or would do that, but then you're going to have to do that anyway. You're going to have to be managing, multiple wallets. So you might as well make it like easy on yourself and much cheaper. You lose 14% in taxes by doing it the cascading way. And Brandon's point was, well, that's 14% that's not going back into the system. Like, it's worse for drip. Okay. But is it going to kill drip? No. 15%, 14% difference? No, it's not going to, especially drip is strong. Drip is in, it's just going to keep getting stronger.
It's solid. The code is solid.
By me making keeping 14% that would have otherwise gone to airdrop taxes, that's not going to kill drip.
So I mean, if you were to compare 100 drip versus a 1,000 drip account starting balance, how much difference would that make?
In time,
at the end of the day, earnings and time.
No difference. They're the same. No? Every wallet makes the same amount. So a 1 drip wallet makes the same as a 1,000 drip wallet. So if you have 1,000 drip
over time,
it doesn't really make sense to put it all in one wallet. No. I'm telling, let's say that you have 2 wallets. This wallet you start with 1 drip. This wallet you start with 1,000 drip. They both make the same amount of money.
They make the same, correct.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Unless they have a downline. We're not considering the downline. Just without the downline.
Yeah.
So
it's beautiful, isn't
it? That is the single most kind of important concept that doesn't quite sink in for people. Also, the thing that really doesn't sink in, let's say you had 1,000 drip. People think that if they take that 1,000 drip and they put it in one wallet, they're going to get more faster than if they took that 1,000 drip and split it across 10 wallets. It's not at all going to come any slower if you split it up. It'll just go longer.
It'll go longer because it's the longer way to get.
It'll go beyond the point where the one wallet couldn't go.
Correct.
And where you would have to go to in a new wallet.
I agree.
So
ultimately, the more wallets you have, the better. That's what it comes down to.
Yes, but obviously there's also the caveat that the more wallets you have, the bigger of a price impact it's going to have on drip. So if you were to, I had one person that was like, "Oh, okay, how many wallets is best?" I'm like, "Well, more wallets is better." No, but how many is best? I'm like, more wallets is better. He's like, "Okay, so can I make 100 wallets?" I'm like, I want to split 800 drip across 100 wallets. Is that good? I'm like, really? Yeah, so, no, I mean, I think there's obviously a limit, but I think what you want to do is you want to think through, like, okay, how long do I want to be in drip? So that was why that third question. Okay, how much do I want to make? By when do I need to make it? And for how long do I want to be making it? It's that third question determines how many wallets you need.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first question, the second question, by when do I need it? You can only get more money sooner if you put more money in at the front.
Right.
Doesn't matter how many wallets or one wallet or 10, like, it doesn't matter. All that matters is what you've put in and then when you hydrate it. So if you hydrate and claim, then you can get money sooner. If you claim instead of just hydrating, you can get more money sooner.
Right.
So you have to put more money in at the front and you have to claim earlier. You don't have to reach max payout to start claiming, which is another weird thing that people seem to think, that like, oh, I have to get to max payout and then I'll claim. Like,
that's
why?
Not my thing.
I don't know too many people that actually do that. Yeah, because most of the people that are coming in, they want to make money now, right? And it's the dividend way of life. Like, it's just, how much can I earn? How much should I earn? How much do I want to earn?
Yeah.
Like waiting for max payout. No, that's a very long-term approach. Not the smartest one, I don't think. Yeah.
But having multiple wallets, you can use different strategies for different ones. I mean, again, I have multiple wallets. Some of them I just use for building. Others I use for my daily expenses.
I think everyone has multiple wallets, even the people who are like disavowing multiple wallets.
Yeah.
The so-called multiple wallets theory. There is no multiple. Any strategy is multiple wallet strategy.
Yeah.
That's just got to sink in. Otherwise, people are going to start like, oh, do I use a single wallet strategy or a multi-wallet? No, that's just not a thing. It's just not a thing. A single wallet strategy is not a thing. It's not a strategy.
Yeah.
That's laziness. That's just pure laziness.
Laziness. There you go. True.
Or naivety. Like one of those things. It's definitely not a strategy.
Oh, wow. Well, there you go. Hey, I know we've been talking about drip, and that's really what this is about. But hey, Kelly, just to come back, I want to see those gloves. I want to see your
I have a glove here, but I only have one because my other one is with a customer right now, I think. Actually, he might have sent it back to me, but it's this one.
That is cool.
Here we go. That's it. I'm not going to make it do anything, though, Danny. I'm sorry. I didn't really prepare. Huh?
It's okay.
I can turn it on. Ooh, a light.
That's so cool. That looks so cool. I watched like Imogen's TED talk, and that was amazing. I'm like, wow, this thing is just crazy.
The one from TEDx CERN?
Yeah. I watched a couple of them, but it was just the first time to see it, like being used. It was like, it just blew my mind. Absolutely blew my mind. And I can't even begin to wrap my head around how you do that.
Well, it's not that complicated. I mean, it's nothing actually that.
It's not that complicated.
I mean, really, it's not like you could make this. It's not that. I have made this actually. I have my own DIY versions, but it's not that. People are making things like this all the time. It's not. There's nothing special necessarily about sensors and getting those sensors, getting that data into the computer. It's really what we've done with the MiMu gloves is spent a lot of time optimizing this gestural control for music and artistic like expression, not just music, but music and visuals, anything that you can control, robotics. lights. So things that you might want to do on a stage or creatively, we've optimized the software that runs with the gloves, that kind of like the driver, I guess, for the gloves. We optimized that for music. And because we learned when we were...
Mac, isn't it?
What's that?
For now, it's just for Mac, isn't it?
No.
Mac. No? Okay.
No,
Right.
we came out with the Windows version that like more than a year ago. We've eventually, because what we discovered, so we originally were building these with Imogen Heap, like just together with her, and we were working with her, and she was part of the design process, and she was using them in real time for performances, which meant that the tech was really being driven by her creative process and what she needed to be doing, and all of the kind of early design features were in response to what she wanted to be doing. But then what we started to discover was how many people wanted to have that kind of control with their computers. So we started to generalize the gloves for more people, a wider, I guess, more use cases, a wider user base. And when we did that, we also, even when we were working with Imogen, what we realized was that, she's a genius, obviously. And, what she wanted was control over she wanted to be able to say what this does to the sound. Like, she wanted to be able to do that. So we weren't building her like a finished instrument. We were building her a thing that she could use to build her own instrument, and that was like a meta problem. She wanted to be able to write, record, and perform with these gloves, and she wanted to be able to control the mappings, to make the mappings herself. And so trying to do that for a wider group of people, we just had to, it became all about the software, putting sensors on your hands and like having them talk to the computer. That's not a big deal. That's like, just people have done that for decades with gloves. We were working on a glove at NASA in in the 90s. It's not like that. That's not the hard part. The hard part is being able to let the artist say, when I do this, I want that sound to go, but another artist might want it to do something completely different, and giving them the power to do that. That was the hard part. So the software we released on its own about, it's almost a year and a half ago now, like just a standalone piece of software people can use with other things, with like a Leap Motion, or with their laptop, or with a webcam, or with, any device that they can use for gestural control. So that's it's more than just the hardware, I guess, is the thing. It's really more about the optimization of the mappings and being able to design make your body an instrument, and you design what kind of instrument your body is. I like that.
I'm gonna have to
and it's not that complicated, right? Whatever, Kelly. No, it's beautiful.
I mean,
like,
what I was saying is that the hardware is we didn't invent the hardware. We just compiled it together and optimized it for music.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm all about optimization.
Yeah, we noticed. Really?
My special skill.
I'm going to order a set of those gloves. I'm going to have to order it.
Well, and what other like application wise? What do you see in the future with the MiMu? At first,
application wise,
MiMu. That's how you came up with the name.
And music.
Me and music. Okay, there you go.
Well, I mean, still the majority of our user community are artists. They're either like visual artists or DJs or musicians, some filmmakers. Like we're really kind of branching out a little bit into VR and motion capture, because there's a big market on motion capture, especially in New Zealand, where I'm about to move.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
I'm headed to New Zealand in my head and in my heart, and so there's a lot of film stuff going on there, and there's still a big hole where the gloves should be, even in VR, and people haven't quite solved that problem yet. So we're really interested in being in that arena as well. So thinking about VR. Some of us have been like, Chagall, who is on our team, one of our designers, but she's also an amazing musician. I don't know if you've looked her up on YouTube, but Chagall, like the painter, she designs her whole show. She has a whole set that she controls the lights and these beautiful set pieces, and she choreographs her sets, and her choreography is creating and controlling the music, and she sings and controls the vocals with her gloves. So she has a whole bodysuit as well. And she's done a lot of work in VR. So there are definitely members of obviously Imogen is big into VR, and so we're really interested in opening that up, making it possible to actually play instruments in virtual reality. That's not quite there yet.
Sick.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff, isn't it?
That's exciting.
It is.
But right now we are just kind of at the limits of what we can do as a company. And, we're trying to figure out, do we focus mainly on hardware or software, or do we continue and do the next design of the hardware? And so, we're trying to figure out what's next. But I think we're kind of, it feels like we're succeeding in changing the way people think about making music, which is really exciting.
Sure. Amazing.
Removing the limitations and being tied to the gear. I guess if you've never performed electronic music, you don't quite understand how limiting it is to have to be tied to your computer all the time, especially if you're trying to do like electroacoustics and you want to play other instruments, or you want to play with a group or whatever. You just can't. And like, you might as well be checking your email. You're like rocking out on your laptop, but the audience has no way of connecting with what you're doing. You see so many like DJs they're just like their hand on their butt keyboard, and they're just like,
that's right.
Like what? Why? What do we do? So
crazy.
Yeah.
I wanted to get to the point where you could start putting chips in like my kids' heads, and I could just control them that way. My wife starts nagging.
Yeah, we thought about making a commercial like that, where we would we would have somebody with the gloves like controlling all sorts of things around the house, and like their kids, especially shutting up their kids.
Yeah, that's right.
Shut up.
No more iPad. But Dad.
Disappearing things.
Yeah. You'll get there. You'll do it, Kelly. We believe in you, Kelly.
Yeah. There you go. Well, it looks like, there's people watching. I think people are kind of a little bit not wanting to ask any questions. They're just enjoying what we're talking about. So,
well, maybe we should take some questions. How long do you usually go, Danny?
Oh, look, it depends. Sometimes up to 4 hours.
What?
Yeah, sometimes. So, but
maybe they're just bored. Maybe they're just so bored.
I guess we've got to look at time zones as well. Like in Australia, it's the middle of the day or like mid-afternoon in Australia. So people are still at work. In the US, I'm guessing a lot of people there are going to start going to sleep, etc. So, again, it doesn't matter because the live, it stays up there and we get lots of viewers on it later on anyway. So, that's all good. Yeah. But,
yeah, Kelly, was there anything else you really wanted to share? Like, what did you want to?
No, I had no agenda. I was just responding to Danny's kind invitation.
Yeah, just hang out.
And we greatly appreciate you coming on.
Oh man,
this is
more than
amazing, absolutely.
My pleasure. I'm working on like a picture book, how drip works for kids. Like, to describe drip in terms of a system of machines that turns water into wine.
Nice.
Well, when you've done that,
if it's for kids, like I'm kind of thinking, well, it shouldn't be wine. It should be like turning water into whatever kids like to drink, like Gatorade or
Kool-Aid. Yeah.
Kool-Aid. That's a good idea. That's better than. Yeah. Yeah, so I've kind of designed all of the machines, given them like a bit of an identity, like a visual identity, and then like introduce the different machines and what they do, and then I'm going to put them all together so that you can really understand, okay, what comes out after you've claimed is Kool-Aid. It's not water. So if you want to get that Kool-Aid back into your deposits, basically, you're having to pay to turn that Kool-Aid back into water. So it's trying to try and give the to understand the difference between fresh money that's going in or things that are money that's being hydrated, which is never converts it from the water out to the Kool-Aid.
Right.
So to get water into the system, like to make a deposit and drip, you have to take the Kool-Aid and turn it into water, which costs 10%. Like 10% of the liquid goes away when you do that. And then, once it's in there, you're as you're hydrating, it's just like the little pipe, the little pump. I've made like a little drawing of a pump, and it's leaky, so it leaks like 5% when you do the hydration. Yeah. And then I have this kind of almost like a story of the like how the water is turned into Kool-Aid and how the Kool-Aid is turned into water and the different machines that do it, so that like you can you really then understand why it's better to split your investment early among several wallets and not be airdropping everywhere, because when you're airdropping, all you're doing is you're wasting Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right.
It's awesome because like when my kids have got drip accounts. Okay.
Yeah.
They got them and they get excited about it because it's like, oh, Dad, can I take some out now because I need to buy Robux or
You're so funny. My son, same. My son would be like, Dad, how much money we made? How much money did I make today? So I show him, and this is when the price went down, and he's like, I don't know if we made the right decision, Dad. Okay, son. I'm sorry.
It's great. I mean, this is the future, this is the future. It's the present and the future. And kids understanding it now as early as possible is great. Absolutely amazing. And then they understand more about money, which is really good as well.
Our responsibility.
Look, my daughter earned some money the other day and she bought me this little diffuser for my office,
What's that? What, a diffuser of what?
Yeah, it's a diffuser like
of like scent.
Yeah, scent.
Oils.
Yeah, oils.
Oh, that's nice.
And this one,
it's cute, right? It's another way of saying, Dad, you stink. Here you go. Here's a gift.
It's here on my desk. Today I've got it loaded with coffee smell. So when you walk in, it's like Starbucks.
Oh, nice. Can you just make coffee?
Yeah, so
I do the same thing just with my coffee maker.
Oh, there you go. I've got to put a coffee maker in my office.
You need to, of course.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Again, I think this is great. Absolutely amazing.
We could go on forever. I mean, with Kelly's. What's going on my camera? It's like a strobe light. Does it look like
Well, did you guys have any other questions, or Lucky? Did you have any other?
No. I think that's like overload already for my type of brain. So I mean, definitely we'll keep going at it. And I think it's very valuable for the people who are watching, and especially people who are starting out. I mean, we wish we had this type of knowledge when we first started, right? So it's great to have you on, Kelly, and thank you. And a lot of people will benefit from this simple video.
Well, that's great.
This is our style. This is my style, Kelly. You'll notice when you watch my other videos or whatever, and the future ones, it's more of just a casual, let's have a chat. I mean, and as Lucky mentioned earlier, the technical stuff is great because you should understand it. But for most people, it takes a while for them to wrap their heads around it. So this is more, hey.
And even if your book is directed towards kids, the adults will be reading it because we need to understand it in a very simple way to figure out what the heck does drip do. Like,
that was my secret. That was my secret intention, is that
the so you're really calling all of us kids.
Hopefully the adults will actually understand what's going on then.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a book. It's just like a presentation. It's just like a video. But with kind of cartoons.
When you finish with it, we'll get you back on here again, and promote
well,
that.
Hopefully it's going to be this week. Oh, you know what else I'm going to do? I don't know if you saw my announcement on the drip chat, but I'm going to do a quiz, and I'm going to, whoever gets the highest score on the quiz, a strategy quiz, and all the answers to the strategy questions will be in my videos, or on my in my calculator, or in my articles. And
Sweet.
And so some of them you'll only be able to answer if you use the calculator.
Yeah.
But
Nice.
whoever gets the highest score on the quiz, I'll just give 5 drip to. And I'm going to make it hard enough that hopefully there won't be a perfect score or a high, like more than one person. But if there's more than one person with a high score, then it'll be split among them. But 5 drip's a lot for me. Like that's a week of groceries. So
for sure.
Yeah.
That's an awesome idea.
Yeah. I think hopefully what it'll do is it'll at least incentivize people to read at least, even if they don't take the quiz or like try to answer the questions themselves, at least maybe they'll just read the answer key when I publish it. And even if that just saves a couple people making mistakes in their strategies and gives them a little more drip, then that'll be worth it.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Valuable.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
All right. When you do that and you want to come back on, the door's open for you. The studio's open for
Let's
you.
do more of these.
And let's do it, I'm going to be doing more for the guys that are watching out there, just so you know. I'm going to be doing at least 1 or 2 podcast style videos per week from here on.
Wow, that's ambitious.
Yeah, well, it's
Thank
nice.
You, Black Kirby 64. Thank you.
Yeah, let me just put that up on the.
So there's no questions on the YouTubes or on the Facebooks or on the Faces?
No. Actually, have you not got the comments up on your screen there?
I've got the comments. I've got the comments on the Hey, somebody in my time zone.
West Coast. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have a question, Black Kirby 64? We could do a little AMA now.
Yeah, let's do an AMA. If there's anyone out there that's watching and they want to do an AMA, just do it. We're here. And but yeah, so
well, I'm gonna do an AMA. I'm gonna do like a live grading of the quizzes.
That would be good.
Nice.
So I'll collect all the quiz answers all at once, so that the latecomers won't benefit from the answers of the earlier people. And then when I go to kind of grade the quizzes, I'll do that live on a voice chat on Telegram at the Drip Rocket Science Telegram.
Awesome.
And the invitation for that is in the main Drip chat if you want to go find it. Just search on Drip Rocket Science. So that'll be kind of fun. So I will be doing my own little voice only AMA sometime, probably this time next week, after the quiz has had a chance to go around.
Awesome. Well, we'll keep watching out for that. Yeah.
Are you going to get into the farm, Danny?
Yeah, I am. At this stage, I will be going in, not with huge amounts. I've got my other project, my Alak-Azul projects that I'm working on. Actually with Lucky as well. So, that's where a lot of my focus is. That's morning to night for me. I'm working on that, and a lot of the finer details came in when I was laying on my back in bed for the past few weeks, and it was great actually. It was like a blessing in disguise. I know it's not nice to be sick, but it gave me time to actually sit back and reflect and really start to focus again, because I was just getting so involved in like just helping other people that I was forgetting about what I needed to do. And so, since I got my health back, I've been super creative. I'm on the computer morning till night, just doing all my designs, doing all, working on my tokenomics, etc. And just for the guys out there, okay, I'm just going to touch on this just a tiny little bit. Not going to give the details, but Alak-Azul is going to be physical drink, right? It's going to be bottled physical drink, but I'm also working on it as adapt, which will launch at the same time as the, so that's something to keep out. I'm keep in your mind there. I'm not going to give all the details, obviously, but yeah, definitely, it's exciting times.
Oh.
So something different.
So not a lot of time to invest in the farm then.
Yeah, kind of a little bit like that. But there's certain parts of the farm that definitely I will be putting money into it.
Are you in the
That's
DAO?
another strategy again.
I'm not in the DAO, unfortunately. I'm not in the DAO, and it's just too bloody expensive to get in for me.
I know, it's really become prohibitive.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But look, at the end of the day, I think the farm's going to be great anyway. So whether you get in from the beginning or you get in later on, you're still going to make money, So
and the drip price is going to be strong because of it. So that's even more important.
Absolutely, and I definitely more important. That's where it's been for me the whole time. Is the focus has been on drip rather than all the little plugins that are coming into it. And I know that all these little extra use cases that are coming into it, or lots of use cases that are coming into it, is going to directly affect the price of drip anyway. And that's my main play. It takes up a huge.
The farm is going to be little, though. Sorry to interrupt you, Danny.
Oh no, definitely not little. Definitely not little.
Like, this is going to be huge. I think
it is huge. It is huge, but again, anything that's going to directly support the price of drip, I'm in.
Enhance someone's portfolio for sure, because that's also part of the strategy too. So it's like, okay, well, if I have $100 or $1,000 or whatever, now what do I choose? Do I first go into drip, and then at what point should I start thinking about putting it into Manor Farm, right? Because it helps. It helps each other, right? So that's something again, strategy wise, something we could help people with.
Yeah.
After Kelly calculates everything,
it also takes some of the sell pressure off. So all the people that are making massive amounts of money in drip, it'll get to the point pretty quickly where you're making more money than you need and more money than you should have. In which case you could actually, instead of just having to sell that and create a bunch of sell pressure and some price pressure, what you can do is just use half of it to buy USD, pair it all up in a LP token, put it in the farm, park it in the farm, earn BSD on it, but then you've not hurt drip in the process of making too much money off drip.
Supporting it.
That's really exciting. And in fact, I think that's helped in this great debate of whether or not, multiple wallets is bad for drip. Ultimately, it's really, drip is going to be strong because you have the ability to use your earnings in this way, rather than just having to sell them,
right?
Yeah,
or keep earning on them by putting them into a new wallet, which is equally hard on drip. So yeah, it's really, really exciting. So hopefully that that will start to permeate the culture as well. I think Brandon's doing a great job of educating people on that. This is a really, really amazing thing that you can do with what you're earning from drip, and that's exciting.
I'm technically, I should do a video as well on Manor Farm, Animal Farm, etc. But I'm still waiting on Forex. We're still trying to tie down the time.
Yeah.
Come on, so then he can do the explanations and stuff. I mean, I'm not one to go out there and try to compete with other people's videos. It's not, I mean, there's
it's already done. Yeah, lots of good ones out there.
Yeah, there are. So for me, again, it's just just getting the word out there. It's not so much to do a technical deep dive on it, but I will do a video, in layman terms. So
nice.
It will come along soon when I get some more time. But yeah.
Well, don't exhaust yourself then.
Hey?
Don't exhaust yourself. You got to rest too.
Oh, yeah, I know. But I don't know. I've been burning the midnight oil for so long. It's just part of me now, you know. Like honestly, last night I ended up going to bed last night about, I think it was about 2 o'clock or this morning, 2 o'clock this morning, and then I woke up at 4:30.
Danny, that's not healthy.
I know it's not, and
It's
then
not. Oh,
I'll try to go back to sleep, and I just couldn't get back to sleep. And then I think about 6:30, I drifted off for about another half an hour. Oh, that was it.
yeah,
It was just
That's not
crazy.
good.
I know.
too passionate. Yeah, that's what
So
you call
much
passion.
going on, you know?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
so much going on. You know, I'll wake up in the middle of the night and I'll get down and I start designing, you know, because I do all my graphic stuff as well and all my videos, and I'm doing music. So, you know, the last few months I've been able to go back and do music as well. So I'm doing, producing my own stuff. Again, not for anything else, but for myself and probably to just use on my channel, you know, instead of having copyright strikes.
Yeah.
You know, but it's something, it's a passion. And I do miss doing music. You know, I really do. Having that, you know, to be up on stage and you're seeing hundreds of thousands of people in front of you, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
The feeling you get.
I miss the studio. Yeah, I totally miss the studio.
I don't miss the studio because I'm in my studio.
For real? You live in the studio.
I do literally live in my studio.
That was a fun. I mean, yeah, the performances and everything. That was a lot of fun. But yeah, for sure. I mean, yeah. But the studio I miss. When I start, I can't stop. That's why I haven't touched it.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's definitely a problem.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's got an amazing voice, and this is one of the reasons I set up my studio again, is because you know, I want to record her. She's gifted in regards to her voice, absolutely gifted, and she's right into Broadway musicals. So she watches these Broadways like Alexander and Alexander Hamilton and stuff like that, and then she goes and just does it word for word. I mean,
wow.
Beautiful. And the way that she presents it, like she did one, we were just having a karaoke night here one night, and she got up there and she did this thing from Alexander Hamilton, and there's a part in it where she really slows down. She's singing about her sister or something like that, and she was literally in tears. This is a 12-year-old kid, really feeling, you know, everything behind the music. And so yeah, that's why I've set up the studio here. I've got the new mics and the audio interfaces and everything like that.
Encourage that, bro. Yeah. Feed that.
You know,
nice.
You know, my parents were great, are great and stuff. But when it came to music, there was never really that support, right? I mean, I did it later in life, but now that I have my daughter that loves singing, and she's just learning guitar, and then the other day she made some money off work that we're doing here, and she bought herself a ukulele and taught herself how to play it within 2 days.
So nice.
Yeah, you know, I bought them a piano. I've got electronic drums that are coming as well.
Wow.
You know, my 3 kids here, they just love it. You know, my youngest boy, who's only 9. He gets onto YouTube, looks at something, goes over to the piano and just plays it, just like that. And he's been playing, less than a year, and it just has it. I don't know where that came from.
Yeah.
Me. But
build on that, man.
Yeah, supporting them without pushing them, but you know, going by what they love and just giving them support on that, instead of saying, nah, music, don't do music. You know, it's like, you want to do it, you do it.
Sure.
All the way. And I think that's a really important factor that, you know, parents have got to consider. I mean, long gone are the days where you've got to be a doctor or a NASA scientist.
Exactly.
You know,
that.
Yeah, I think it's really important to support them with that. But yeah, going back to music.
Life without music is no life at all, for sure.
Yeah. You know,
and
I'm 50.
What software are you using, Danny?
I'm just playing around with a few different things. I do use Pro Tools, but I've also started playing around PreSonus as well.
Nice. Studio One.
Yeah, just for the simplicity of it. Like for my daughter, if she wants to come on and just want to record herself with some backing vocals, and it automatically just puts in all the settings, you know, just to play around with initially, and then you can adjust from there. like for her to just jump on here and just do that. It's, you know, for the ease of use, instead of like getting her to you know, fully work out Pro Tools, etc. And it's just, you know,
I guess
it's
you have
too much.
PCs.
Yeah. Yes, PCs.
What are you using?
I
Kelly,
know.
What are you using?
Mac.
I use Pro Tools in the studio, but I use Ableton Live a lot, especially with the gloves, because of the mapping, how easy it is to do the MIDI mapping.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
And Logic. I sometimes use Logic. But mainly Pro Tools in the studio. Yeah.
Yeah, we're using Logic most of the time. But yeah, cool.
Yeah, so I just wanted it so that she could just jump on any time and just you know, just record, not focus too much on all the other stuff that goes on. Just click the button, sing, and I'm done, you know, just for now. I mean, eventually she's going to adapt to wanting to know more. That's just the kind of person
doing all
she
the
is.
patching and all that.
Yeah, you know, so keeping it simple for now. But awesome. Great to be able to come back to do music. I mean, again, I'm 50 years old, never going to be marketable again in the music industry. Hey, I'll do it through my kids.
I'm actually really grateful to be 52 years old and not have the pressure of any of that. Like, I love that it's not even in the back of my mind. Like, this is something that I should be doing or should even want to be doing.
I'm forever 21.
Now that I've been on the major tours, it's definitely not something I even want to be doing. But like, there's definitely something liberating about being middle-aged, especially a middle-aged woman in music production. It's like, I don't have to be a singer, you know.
Great stuff. All right. Well, I think we're you know, an hour and 45 minutes. Pretty good for this one.
Pretty good.
Wow.
But definitely would love to have you back on again, Kelly.
Yeah.
Please.
Lucky as always, man. Thank you, brother. And
course,
you know, we'll be doing a lot more. Keep watching out for anyone that's out there watching. Keep watching my channel. If you haven't already subscribed, please subscribe. Got lots of good podcasts coming up in the next, you know, in the coming weeks, and not just crypto based. There's lots of different things, you know. Obviously, I still know a few people that are like former recording artists or still recording artists, etc., that are going to be coming on from here in the Philippines where I am, and also from, you know, from other
you're
countries.
in the Philippines right now. You're not in.
Both of us,
yeah. I'm in the Philippines at the moment. So
we actually met here because I'm from Vancouver, Canada, and he's from Australia. So we actually just met here years ago.
So close to where I am, Lucky. So close.
Yeah. We're right above you.
I'm in Portland, so.
Oh, nice. Yeah, a couple
not far
hours.
at all.
Yeah, just a little drive down.
That's awesome.
Nice Pacific Northwest. Yep.
Yep.
Cool. All righty.
Great.
Well, thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Thank you to everyone that's out there watching and the people
Trip
that
Rocket Science. If you're not on there, join.
Yeah, come join the Grip Rocket Science chat. Take the quiz.
Yeah, do that. I'll put that in the description after we're finished. I'll put that down there. And that's pretty much it. Unless there's anything else you guys want to say.
That's good. Thank you. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for having us. It's really great.
It's been a pleasure. It's been an honor. And I look forward to some more.
Let's do it. Seriously, let's do more. There's going to be a lot of new stuff to talk about, and as things move forward. So let's get together.
And we can do it like, hey, once a month, the three of us will get on here and just.
That'd be great.
Yeah, let's do that. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah, Kelly,
have a good.
Lucky, I'm going to end the broadcast.
Good night, Kelly.
And all right, see you guys. Thank you.
Talking in a bit.
Bye, guys.
See ya. Cheers. Bye.